I don't know if there's enough time on TikTok for us to do a video from all the times that Robyn was snarky to the other wives and kids. But this actually perfectly ties into an episode that I watched this week that I wanted to talk about. And there was a moment, this one right here, that I wanted to talk about regarding Robyn. So I thought it was a good segue and then a general topic to fill out the rest of the video. So we just started season 10, episode 1, Catfish Fallout, which is part of the beginning of the catfish seasons. And in it, Caleb has come down from Montana to pick up Maddie and move her up to Montana, where she will be living in a 1-bedroom house. Now, what's interesting is Maddie has her own podcast now, and I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I've seen lots and lots of clips on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. And one of the clips I saw said that her and Caleb lived together before they were married. No judgment. I'm just saying it's interesting because in this episode, they make a big point of how she's not going to be living with Caleb. He has an apartment. She has a separate 1-bedroom house. And I'm curious to know, because I haven't listened to the podcast, I'll maybe try to go look, whether they were lying to the camera, which they're not paid to be on the show. They can do whatever they want. Or whether that was something that just sort of happened. They started out in 2 places, ended up 1, or what. Anyway, so they're going to take Robyn's old couch. And Robyn goes, you can take my old couch. I'm going to get a new one. I'm going to finance it. Now, I have nothing against financing a couch, but if you're on TV and they make even a fraction of what they said they made, what are they spending their money on that they couldn't just buy a couch? I know they don't have friends' money. They're not buying cars every day, but she can't afford a couch. Our couch is much more expensive than I thought when we bought couches recently. And they were expensive, but they weren't we have a TV show and we have to do it. Anyway. The point is, they go to get the couch. Cody notices one of the legs is broken, and he insists he has to fix it right now. And everyone's kind of like, can't you just fix it when you get to Montana? She's only here for 24 hours. We have other stuff to do. And Cody's like, no. And this is the most excited that you will see Cody. He is ecstatic when it's the beginning of this episode, they announce that Caleb and Maddie are actually engaged now. And they're like, where do you want to get married? And she's like, Northern Wyoming. And Cody's like, oh my gosh, Caleb and I can go fishing and then look at sites. And he has this whole fantasy about him and Caleb having a buddies weekend and all of that. And Janelle's like, you're not going to look at houses, venues without us. What are you, crazy? So they fix this couch. And what's really interesting is in the background over here somewhere, Robyn is. And Robyn says at least twice, if not 3 times, I had hand-me-down broken furniture. I had broken furniture, And basically her point is, Cody doesn't need to fix this couch for Maddie. She can just have broken down furniture. And that's all she's good for. I thought that was really interesting and that's why I miss the actual filming they do where they just follow around the family for useless things, is because little stuff like that, we know what she meant. The same reason she yelled at Maddie for, she can't pick her own religion when she was saying that she didn't want to go to the AUB anymore, which apparently is not a big issue for Robyn anymore. When she yelled at Maddie that she would have to move out if she didn't find the family thing. I just saw a picture of a meme that someone had made where they had Robyn's face and they had a quote saying, y'all are fat and ugly. So let's talk about the time that Robyn said that it was truly amazing that Cody still loved the wives, even though they had gained weight and had stretch marks. Whew. She presented that it was he was a saint for loving these women still. And, I always think that's sweet when guys do that, but that is sort of the bar that if you have a partner that I don't know, it's really weird that she thinks that the assumption is kind of that they didn't deserve the love that Cody gave them, which is awful. She was late to Logan's things. She skipped out on Hunter's things. She especially had a problem with Janelle's kids. But yeah, the number of times that she was snarky to those kids, endless. And she also got on McKelty about the way that McKelty dressed. I mean, a lot of people talked about how Mary did that and Christine did that. Robyn did too. Let's not leave her out of that equation of them kind of getting on her for showing off too much chest or arms or something. There was endless. I mean, she was even awful to her own kids. Remember the whole purity talk about how her boyfriend stole it away from her and then she got pregnant. It was so awful. And Dayton's just sitting there and you're like, that's kind of inappropriate conversation to have in front of the child that came from that union. Yeah, there's endless. I'm at 5 minutes, so I'm going to stop. But please, in the comments, mention all the many billions of times that Robyn has been snarky to the other wives and kids.